What is good, YouTubers? It is yo boy Trillis T, aka Tyler Reeds, coming at you again with another solo backpacking Mexico video. Today's video is all about Yucatan Peninsula. Most specifically Cancun, because that's where I stayed during this entire trip of about a week or so. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, go check it out. This is the last video to this 9-part series, 9-episode series. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I got sick in Cancun, my amazing bus tour that I took, my trip to Playa del Carmen, Isla Mujeres, and to finish it off, my experience flying back to the United States. First is my story about getting sick in Cancun. Okay, so I got sick from the tap water in Cancun. How this happened, now I'm not a stereotypical gringo and I wasn't drinking out of the sink. How this came about was
I ate these strawberries in Chiapas, and I used the sink water to clean it. And I was thinking when I was doing it, I was like, oh man, I might get it this time. But I did it anyways.
I got Montezuma's revenge. You guys, I'll leave that to you. Leave that to your imagination. You guys can go look that up and see what that entitles, but trust me, it sucks and you want to get antibiotics as quick as possible. I go to the pharmacy, or frick dude, this is like a corner store. This is a corner store. I go in there, I'm like, hey, you guys got this? And they're like, you need a prescription. I need a prescription for antibiotics. I'm gonna keep my cool, but I'm about to flip shit right now. So I had to stick with this stuff over the course of the night. Next day I wake up and I immediately go to the doctor's office. I have to pay 40 pesos. I had to pay 400 pesos for this visit, which is about $20 US, just to get an antibiotic.
In like all around Mexico, you don't need a prescription or like antibiotic, or you don't need a prescription for an antibiotic. You just go there and get it, and that's the end of the story. But here, because there's so many foreigners, they know that we have money, quote unquote. It's like, dude, I quote it because I don't have money.
For an antibiotic over the counter diarrhea medicine, I shouldn't have to pay a doctor's visit, in the States at least. I get this prescription, I go and I pay $15 for the pills. I'm just angry because this even had to happen. I'm getting hustled. I'm getting hustled to get rid of the sickness. Thanks, Cancun. Thanks. That's how stuff goes in Cancun. Might I say, to prove my point, Cancun is the hustler capital of Mexico. You better have some money, or you better be smart with your money when you come to Cancun. I was frustrated. I could have spent that money on an Italian dinner. Not this time. The next day came around and I took a bus to 4 different attractions in Yucatan. Now this bus tour that I took was about 700 pesos. And to equate that into US dollars, that's 40 US dollars. That was a good price. I was seeing some bus tours for the same exact content. It was about 1,200 pesos. So that's twice of what I paid. How I found this great deal was I was talking to the worker at my hostel, and I'm like, yo man, I want to see Yucatan. Can you hook it up? And he's like, oh shit, I got the perfect thing for you. The hostel guy just put me in contact with this professional bus touring company. The first stop, I wish I could tell you where the first place was on this bus tour, but honestly I'd be bullshitting you. To keep it short, we went to a place to look at local creations of art. Backpacking throughout entire Mexico, I've seen all these creations. I've seen the obsidian, like arrowheads. I've seen the jewelry, I've seen it all. So this was kind of like, yeah, this is nice. It's overpriced. It's like 3 times extra than what it is in freaking everywhere else in Mexico. But hey, we left that and we went on to the next place, which was a lunch. There was like a halftime show and there's people that were dressed up in the local attire, and they were dancing, and They're like balancing bottles on top of their head. I don't know what this dance is called. You can see it. It was something I've never seen before, so it kind of stunned me. Holy cow, I didn't know this existed in Mexico, but hey, I'm learning something in Yucatan, man. The Gringo Paradise, I'm learning something. Then we went to Necesito buscar una palabra para ti.
Oh, hell
para
no.
usted. Lo siento. No.
Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza. The next location was Chichen Itza. And this is a world wonder. If you did not know, now you know. Look it up. One of the 7 world wonders. Check. Grata. The entire time though, I kept thinking about Apocalypto and how the heads were bopping down the stairs. If you've never seen Apocalypto, you should definitely go watch it. So the entire time I was thinking about heads, I was thinking about Mel Gibson, I was thinking about all the crazy alien shit that was made to build this mind explosion. There'd be like couples and they'd say, wow, this is such a cute, beautiful place. It's so beautiful. And I couldn't help but think like, haven't you seen Apocalypto, man? Haven't you seen Apocalypto? So many people have died in Chichen Itza that the beauty was also ranked up with the fact of pure terror to a certain extent. I thought it was beautiful. The way it was built, you can actually clap and it would echo at certain parts. The guy also told us that it's built for, I believe, the like moon cycles, sun and moon. It's very, very techy. I don't really know. I would sound like an idiot if I explained any more. Just note that it's very techy in creation. There was so many people hustling on the way in, out, and around this giant pyramid. There was vendors set up and they'd be like, hey, mate, come over here. Not in a British accent, but they'd say, yeah, ven aquí, and not in Espanol either, because they're speaking to gringos. I'm getting it. Hey, come over here. People would come over and they'd be like, yo, do you like what you see? This right here? This right here? 500 pesos.
These people, like, they reel me in, and then I'm looking at something, and they're, how much you willing to pay for it? And then I'm, silent at that point, and they shout me out their price. I'm like, no, I'm not paying that much. They're like, but it's a good price. It's like, no, it's not. I've been around Mexico. That's not a good price. It's very high. And I just kind of sit there looking at it, and they're like, okay, this much. I'll give you this much. Like, I'm really scraping bottom. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm leaving. Put it down, and I start walking away. They're like, no, I'll do the price.
I can't take myself serious because 500 pesos for anything at a tourist destination is ridiculous. Do not pay 500 pesos for anything there unless it's handmade and you're seeing the guy build it. 500 pesos, you can do a lot with 500 pesos in Mexico. You can do a lot. 500 pesos is about $20 US. That can buy you a lot of food, a lot of beer, and a lot of time in one place. And then I'd just be like, I'll give you 150 pesos. 150 pesos? Are you ridiculous? Well, I've traveled around Mexico and I can literally buy this in Oaxaca for 100 pesos. 150 is being respectful to you. If you're gonna screw me over, I'm not gonna freaking do business with you. Yucatan is full of hustlers and this proved it. If you go to visit Chichen Itza, make sure to not really talk to those people because they will hustle you and all their prices are super uber expensive. Third stop on this bus tour was to Ica, which Ica is a giant cenote. And if you don't know what a cenote is, I definitely recommend Google searching it. What I'll tell you is that it's a hole in the ground with lots of water. It's the most simplistic definition. This was 85 feet below the ground and it was 200 feet deep. So this was a deep, deep hole and I immediately was taken back by its beauty. It had vines hanging down, it had water dripping down. The water in itself was just so big and so natural. They even had on the side of the walls, they had like some stairs leading up to where you could jump off. And this is where it gets pretty amazing. So I wait my turn, I get up there and I look down, and this is freaking big. When I was walking up and when I saw people jumping off, it did not look this crazy. And this was very symbolic of my Mexico trip. Making the leap is the hardest thing to do. Looking down into that giant unknowingness is hard. But once you take that leap and you trust in yourself, and you know that when you land, you will be all right, it's the best experience. This place is a must-see on any person's touring destination. I 100% recommend this cenote. Even though there are a lot of people and you may drown if you don't wear a life jacket, because there's only 2 exits out of the water and tons of people in the water, I recommend seeing the cenote and swimming in it if you can. 4th stop on this bus tour was to a small colonial town called Mérida. Mérida was made or colonized in the 16th century. I think it was about 1540 to be exact. So we got off the bus for a very short time and the guy was like, yeah, look around, get something to eat, use the bathroom. You only got 15 minutes and if you're not here, we're leaving your ass. Thanks, man. People write about this on Google. They say, lovely colonial town, wish I could have spent more time. You're giving me 15 minutes. That's why I do not like bus tours. I will throw that out there. I do not like them. It is what it was. I got a really good crepe.
Pancake batter in that thing, fry it up, and then it becomes crispy. Really, really good.
Which tasted amazing. It had Nutella, peanut butter, bananas. I haven't tasted one of those since Sayulita. Super good. And used the bathroom and I got back on the bus to finish that bus trip off. Next up on my journey was to visit Playa del Carmen. Now I know it's the most typical place for any sort of gringo extranjero foreigner to visit. And I wanted to give it a shot because hey, it's been talked about a lot. Let's see. Now the beach was full of a lot of things. I saw a mariachi band. They were playing the perfect song, La La Bamba. You know, that's my stuff. When I heard that, I was like, come again, man? I also realized on this beach that not only do they play good tunes, but the water in Playa del Carmen is shit. It is ugly, it is shit water. If you only visit Playa del Carmen in Mexico, you are missing out. This water in Playa was gross. It had weeds up on the beach. It had lots of people. I was let down because I expected more. Hearing from all these people that Playa del Carmen has amazing water and then seeing the weeds come up when I was there during the summer. Compared to Isla Mujeres, Playa del Carmen is not that beautiful. The beaches are not that beautiful. I got off the beach and I went down and I started skating on this alley. And this alley kept going on and on and on. I later find out that this alley that I was skating up and down is sought after. It's a giant tourist attraction and its name is 5th Avenue. I was just skating and I'm like, holy shit, there's a Harley Davidson over there. Holy shit, Forever 21. I knew I was in a Richie part of the neighborhood, but I didn't know what was going on. It was cool, but then again, I also had this feeling that many gringos or foreigners, they come down to Cancun, specifically Playa del Carmen, and they walk this avenue and they think that this is only Mexico. This is the safest part of Mexico. This is all there is. And that is not true. There's so much more to Mexico, and if you're a person that doesn't understand that, if you don't believe that, check out all my other episodes. Mexico is amazing. Playa del Carmen is only just a fingerprint of an entire hand.
So once again, in a rich part of the neighborhood, and guess what? Guess what's behind me? Yeah, right there, baby, a Starbucks. Thing is when you see a Starbucks in Mexico, and I've been saying it throughout my entire journey, that's when you know you're in a rich part of the neighborhood. Because Starbucks are like so uncommon around here. Most of the time it's like mom and dad kind of like cafe diners. So when you actually see a Starbucks, it's like, oh shit, man, I'm in a rich pot. Then you know you don't have to like really watch your belongings. Dude, I don't know how I'm feeling. The idea of rich malls is starting to grow on me. At first, it just pissed me off. It pissed me off, but now it's like, it's what it is, man. They're not everywhere. Thank God they're not. Because this shit's not Mexico. It's rich. I still wonder how much money went into building a place like this in Mexico. Like, you gotta be either a drug dealer connected with the government getting some kind of money.
Man, I just want me one of these nice Harleys over here. Gonna go to this Harley Davidson. I'm gonna get jacked up on all my Harley merchandise while I'm here. So when I get back, all the tan biker babes will love me and accept me for what I'm worth.
Hola. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, ¿y usted?
Bien, bien. ¿Tiene un motobicicleta? Do you guys have a bike? No, ¿tiene en la persona en tu casa? No? I don't want to be in here anymore. This is freaking uncomfortable. I'm just wearing what I'm wearing. I stick out like a sore thumb.
That concluded my time on the beach in Playa del Carmen and 5th Avenue. Well, the next day comes around, and the guy at my hostel told me about this beautiful island that's right next to Cancun. And he told me that it's called Isla Mujeres, which means Woman Island. I didn't know how to get there. I talked to him. He told me to go get a colectivo. So I go out to the local bus stop and I start looking for colectivos.
So right now I'm waiting for my bus. A colectivo, actually. Colectivos, if you don't know what they are, they're like a giant taxi, but they're usually like 10 pesos. They can go up to like 50 pesos depending on where you're going. Today my trip is really short. I'm going to Isla Mujeres and I need to take a bus, a colectivo, like a few miles, so it's gonna be 10 pesos. But that all being said, that's the easy part. Now just trying to flag one down is the hardest.
I find one and they take me there. And then I got off and I had to buy a ticket onto this ferry. I paid about $15 for the ferry ride that took me to Isla Mujeres, which was about 10 minutes across the ocean. I did mention earlier that Playa del Carmen compared to Isla Mujeres falls short. Isla has the most beautiful water in all of Mexico. The water was completely this unbelievable shade of blue. I can't even describe it. It was breathtaking. It was that. If you guys heard that breath, it was breathtaking. Once I got off the ferry, it was very, very busy, packed full of many people. And now this had the same deal as Chichen Itza, where there was lots of vendors, not as many, but there was lots of people that were selling their stuff for overpriced. I immediately escaped this crowd of people, or should I say horde of people. I went to the end of the island, skated there, I drank a beer for the homies.
Out for the haters, all you people that said I couldn't come here, for you, and all the people who did say I could come here, that's also, this one's for you.
With every place I visit, there's always a story, and Isla Mujeres did not fall short from that. I approached a guy who was selling cigars, or rather he approached me, because you don't have to approach anyone here. They immediately come to you.
There's a guy selling shitty cigars on the street, and I was like, man, where's this good cigar shop? And then he's like, oh no, I'll take you one. Takes me to this place that's completely AC'd, and there's like a humidor that's open. It's not even a humidor at that point, it's just an extra room. There's all these cigars and it's AC'd out, and it's like, okay, these cigars are dried as fuck, because there's nothing covering them. these are trash. And like I'm talking to him, then like another homeboy comes in and it's like, oh shit, am I getting my stuff jacked? Because I thought they were just gonna jump me at that point. Because within this humidor all alone with this one guy and his homie was outside of it. And then another guy comes in and he's like, oh no, I'll hook you up, what do you want? And I was like, how much for this one? And I pull out like one of the big looking like fancy cone shaped cigars, you know, cone tip and cone tail. And he's like, he's like 500. And I was like, nah, I'm not paying that. So how much are you willing to pay? So it was like 90 pesos. And he's like, oh my god, you gotta get out of here, man. Like you're gonna find cheap stuff. You're gonna find fake stuff for that price. And I told him that. I told him straight to his face. I was like, dude, there's all these gringos around here. That's where you're making all this money. And I'm not gonna pay that price. And then he's like, said something else. And he just almost like didn't even make the effort. Like he just wanted me out of his shop. I get tired of that. Like they're just trying to squeeze every little dollar out of the gringos. And it's crazy because half these gringos around here will pay that price. It's just because we're here in Yucatan that it's expensive. And I'm not gonna pay that. That guy just like, you know, I probably disrespected him, but he sure disrespected me with that gringo price. I'm not gonna pay that. It makes me frustrated, it does.
Warning, don't get hustled in Isla Mujeres. I spent some time in the water. It was amazing, beautiful water, lots of people jumping around.
Finally, I'm at Las Mujeres beach. The sand is super white. The water is super clear. It's really good. It's really nice, really beautiful. Like, look at this water. It's just clear.
My time in Cancun, which was about 2 weeks, started to end. I went to the airport in Cancun and boarded my plane and went back to the United States. I got off my flight and I started using my Spanish. It was amazing how much Spanish I learned on this 2-month trip and how much I retained even from that. I never knew how much I appreciate my family until I'd had them taken away and then brought back. To see my friends, my brother, my mom even, it was like, wow, I'm back. And then we got some food. It was a great way to end my 2-month backpacking trip in Mexico. So that was my time in Cancun. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get better quality wise. I'm trying to keep growing as an artist, as a creator. I'm coming out with a short mini series. It's going to be 3 episodes of my trip for Day of the Dead. Please give this video a like. Even give me a subscribe. Hit the bell button. Do what you do. One word of wisdom. If you're going to take anything from this video, please take that have an open mind, because once you have an open mind, anything is possible. I went to Mexico with my best foot forward. I met the right people, had the right situations, and I learned so much. Just enjoy life. Anything's possible if you have an open mind. Thank you. Peace.